What is up? It's your boy Johnny Shreve, aka Mr. Tell Like It Is. We are back with another Alex Eubank reaction video. This in his latest or second latest video, We Gotta Talk. Putting all jokes aside, I react to these videos about Alex Eubank because I see a lot of my younger self in him. And a lot of things that he's going through, I can relate. And through some of that, and me trying to get a message across to him, I'm trying to get a message across also to someone out there that might hear my message, see it, and resonate with it. We all know that Alex is going through a lot. He jumped on TRT, which I completely still believe he didn't need to, and he's getting a lot of backlash because of it, and he's a young cat in this social media world that's trying to navigate his life through the ups and downs of sincerity and I would say some of the fakeness of this industry. I'm going to react to this video as if I was there talking to him. Let's get into it.
3 to 4 months ago, I went through the roughest period of my life. I went through the worst breakup I ever thought could be imaginable. Basically, I was with this girl, and she broke up with me back in like March, April. And dude, I thought it was an amazing relationship. I drove down to Florida, basically like begging for her back. This is like very, very long story in the shortest format I can make.
Here's one thing I've learned, and this is not just in intimate relationships, these are in all relationships. If you have to beg somebody to come back to you or convince somebody of the value that you have and you provide, if you have to do that, they are not worth it because they do not see who you are or the value that you have. Now, when it comes to relationships, if you have to convince somebody that you need to be together, they don't want to be with you. It should not take convincing to somebody. I have the same approach when it comes to my coaching. I'm not going to convince you to hire me. I already know how good of a coach that I am. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to tell you how much the packages are, and here's your options. And when you're ready to commit to this relationship, sign up. So if you got to convince somebody of your value in their life, they don't want you, and you got to accept that.
Bro, I got so lonely and isolated. Y'all think like the whole thing of social media is like dope, like, oh, I have all the money, cars, young age, clout, whatever. Bro, it isolates the hell out of you because people take advantage of you, dude. I have like no friends anymore because of the amount of people who have taken advantage of me. If y'all will not see me hang out with anybody in the fitness industry really anymore because I've just gotten fucked over time and time again, and like no one truly like, dude, it's lonely as hell. Like it's super lonely because like everyone uses you, and that shit gets so isolating, bro, and it hurts your heart down, like deep down.
I appreciate this kid actually come out and saying this because it's really tough. I really relate to this a lot. I'm 41 years old. I've been through a lot of things in my life, so I got into this game understanding people at a different level. If I was his age when I started this, I'd be the same way. I would be surprised. I'd be like, oh my God, there's some people I've met in this industry I've collabed with, and I'm like, oh, you're one of them too. You're not oh man. When it comes down to it, guys, when you're seeing collaborations and this guy and your favorite YouTuber on this channel, your favorite YouTuber on that channel, these are all business moves. Like in a young cat like Alex, who's got, you know, 1.something million subscribers, people look at you as, how can I use you to climb up? There's a reason why I don't get a bunch of collaboration requests. And there's why I don't request collaborations. Because for me, when it comes to collaborating with somebody, I want to collaborate with people that could potentially be friends in real life. That's my thing. But a guy like Alex, who just doesn't really understand that at the moment, he's just getting let down over and over and over again. Because when you're in the beginning stages of your life, of your adulthood, trying to figure out who you are, and you don't really have that base of self-awareness, you're going to be bamboozled by a lot of people out there. And you don't have the foresight to see that this person only wants to hang out with me because I have all of this. Unfortunately, that's just how this industry is.
So like, for me to have like this one person left and then for them to do me the same way, like I just felt so abandoned and isolated, and my trauma was kicking in from my past as a kid. Like it just, everything piled on top of each other, and I was going through a lot of other stuff at the time, like with like social media, that like I hit a breaking point.
I used to pray to God this one prayer. This is a prayer that I still pray to today. God, make it obvious. I don't want to guess anymore. I don't want to guess about anything. Make it obvious that whoever you do not want in my life, whoever should not be in my life, is stopping me from reaching my goals, get them out. Relationships, business relationships, whatever it is, even me, remove me and make it obvious. That is a blessing in disguise. For you guys out there to watch this video, there's some people in your life that you just have obvious signs that are sitting there and you're like, nope. No, I'm just learning. That's life. It's like, no, there's obvious. You shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be with them. That person isn't good for you. That job isn't good for you. What you're watching or listening to might not be good for you. It's obvious. It's making you feel a certain way. you don't feel joy or happiness, true joy, happiness, or fulfillment from a certain thing that's happening, there's a very obvious sign there that that should not be in your life.
This is my second time having to record this because the first one I started crying and I got into too much detail. But I basically got to a point where one night I came home and I turned my cell phone off completely because I didn't want anyone reaching out to me. And I like, long story, I'm good now, but long story short, like, never in my life did I get that close to like probably doing something that I probably like shouldn't have done.
And Alex, like, I'll tell you right now, man, that I'm glad you got through it, but I will tell you right now that you are gonna go through more in your life. You guys watching, you're gonna go through more in your life. I can sit back, and I'm not saying everybody goes through traumatic things, but you're gonna go through some hardships that might feel like they are devastating, and they might feel devastating at that time. I still go through some very emotional times in my life where I have to reflect, but because of what I've been able to go through, I can navigate through it that much better. And through that navigation, I come out stronger. And hopefully Alex sees this video one day. Hope he does. Because I can promise you now, the way he's going, if he decides to go and continue the route that he's going, hopefully he does, he'll look back 10 years from now at this video and be like, I remember this. And he'll be doing the same thing, telling some younger cat that's 24 years old that he went through this stuff. He's giving them the same speech I'm giving you.
I hit my breaking point in life, just in life in general. It sucked because, like, honestly, I think a big issue with this is the relationship before that honestly really messed me up as well. It almost was like verbally, not almost, bro. The one before that was verbally abusive. I don't care, like, it was verbally abusive before that. Like, I just got to a point where I felt so like unwanted and unloved from like everybody in life that I came into contact with, that I felt like God also stopped loving me and abandoned me.
I remember a long time ago, I remember having that thought in my head and being angry at God for certain things. We can't be mad at God because of how people are. Right? God said he's never going to leave you nor forsake you, so he's not going to. So we can't get mad at him because of how humans are. People are, unfortunately, dishonest. They're not loyal. They're not committed. That's just human nature. I'm not saying go out and look and think everybody that you see is against you. No. But when you understand that God is not going to leave you or forsake you, and you are okay with yourself, when these things happen, it's again a sign of like, see ya, you gotta go. Change is hard. Sometimes change is extremely painful, but nowhere near as painful as staying the same. You know how painful it would be for Alex to still be in the relationships that he was in? One was verbally abusive, the other one, he had to convince over and over and over again. And that pain he has to feel of abandonment over and over and over again. It's better that you find that ability to change and go through that hardship of change. Because change is hard, right? We want to change our muscles. We want to get bigger. We got to go through hardship. We got to go through some discomfort for our muscles to get bigger. But it's nowhere near as painful as not building muscle at all. Because guess what happens when you don't build muscle and you get weak? When you get older, you're sicker. You're getting injured faster. You don't live as long. Change is pain, but it's nowhere near as painful as staying the same. I have to make this change, and this change is going to be painful, but I have to go through it. Because on the other side of this change, enlightenment, self-awareness, joy.
It's been absolutely destroying me, seeing and almost pushing me away, seeing the amount of Christians who have just opened up, like crucifying me, like throwing more hate than the non-Christians in like my DMs and comments. Like, I feel like I could at least use some like uplifting in this time where I'm trying to get better again.
Again, when you're at that point in your life when you don't have that self-awareness, that emotional intelligence, that core of self, you're always trying to fill the void with someone else. You're trying to find validation in the wrong places. When I put out content, I'm not putting out content to convince the people who don't want to listen. I'm not putting out content to convince you of anything. I'm putting out content for you to help those people who want to listen. If you want to optimize your training, your nutrition, your supplementation, your mental health, here are some great examples of experience with education that you can use. And that's it. But I am not looking for the hater who doesn't believe me and sit there in a conversation with someone who's just there just to cause strife in the first place. I can tell because he's young that he's just on this journey still trying to figure out who he is as a Christian, who Alex Eubank is as a, social media influencer. And once he realizes that they're all one person and what pieces those things together is his personal relationship with God and his self, and understanding that those are one and the same. That's when he's in a place where what the Christians say it's not going to bug him. That he can see the girls that he's not supposed to be with. That he can see the people that he shouldn't hang out with. That he can see the business relationships that he should not be around. And has those for the foresight to see that. And maybe this video is at the beginning of him actually seeing that. What I like for him to see more of is also that he doesn't need TRT. Because I can tell you something 100%. If you do not need TRT, if your body is running completely fine without synthetic testosterone, if you are taking testosterone, it will alter the way you think and the way you feel. 100%. If you're taking it and it's putting you over the level that you need to be, it is going to alter your emotions, and your emotions being altered is going to alter how you think. And it's going to alter how you perceive things. It's going to alter how you filter your surroundings. And that's the thing he has to get to. That's the reason why I'm not doing it. I got a doctor who looked at my blood work and he's like, you're good. My test isn't through the roof, but it's at a place where I don't have any signs of low T. It's going to alter your emotions. And I had to do so much more management on my mental health when I was on. Then now it's just like, I'm coasting through things. Something that happens in my life, I can have a better understanding of what's going on. I know how to use proper, positive coping mechanisms in terms of like managing my feelings, my emotions with clarity. I love for him to get to that point, because when he gets there, that's when he's like really that's when he's locked in.
When you talk about faith, it's like they expect you to be like a perfect human being, like a nun, like Jesus Christ himself in the flesh, and you should never have any fault or fail, which is just so the opposite of the truth. Like I am a broken man in need of a savior, like desperately right now. Like I don't feel God much right now around me at all.
You're not going to feel God around you. You're going to feel God in you. And that's what he's getting wrong. That he's maybe on the start of this journey, he's getting there, but we must understand is the love that you need to feel needs to come within. Everything here. I love who I am. I'm okay with who I am. I'm content with who I am. There is joy within my heart. And I don't need to look to external things to get that. I don't need to find or feel God out in the world, because you're not. Instead of saying God, will say joy. If you're looking for joy and peace and happiness out here, guess what happens? It's temporary. And when you're focused on that and that's what you're relying on and you get it, it's temporary. And then when it's gone, you feel broken, you feel lonely, you feel abandoned. God will never leave you or forsake you. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understandings, in all your ways, acknowledge him, and he'll direct your path. Those two things, lean on that and understand that he's talking about you, inside you. You have to be able to have that peace and love and acceptance of you and yourself, and not look to the world for it, because the world will let you down 99.9% of the time.
I can get hate from anybody in the industry. Y'all can talk so much like shit about like me on the TRT, all that, and it won't phase me, but the faith thing like rocks me, bro, to my core. So I just needed to explain to you guys, like, I didn't want to have to go into detail, but I have to, because I guess being a social media personality and explaining to you guys like what happens behind scenes of why you might be seeing a little bit of a different me over the last few months. But I'm aware of it, and I'm going to get back to how I used to be. Y'all just gotta bear with me and support me on this, please.
You do not have to explain yourself to strangers. You do not have to explain to all of us what's going on in your life. We can see the change in you when that change is being made. You need to get to a place in your life, Alex, and everyone out there, that you're not always looking for validation from people that you don't even know, people that don't care, people that are going to judge you. If you spend your life trying to convince a fool, you're a fool yourself. And that's it. Thought I'd put that out there, guys. Find that peace and love inside of you. I don't know what religion you are, doesn't really matter. But for those who are Christians, stand on those principles of trusting in God, and that is also trusting in you, accepting who you are, loving who you are, and looking into yourself and not the world for validation and acceptance. When you do that, you will not be shaken or stirred from anything. And when those things happen, you could just run right through them. Hope you enjoyed that video, and check it out. If you're at the start of your fitness journey or stuck in the middle of your fitness journey and you see some help getting to the next level, hit the link description below, johnnyfitness.com, fill out that application and get on a 50-minute call with me, and we will go over your goals and see what we can achieve together. So next time, you know how it is, iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.